it's a miracle that anybody lasts at all ever. Like just like there's a shockwave around the world, and it's like, oh, Brad is hammering away at that big old hog.
Yeah. In Baca, what was what size earthquake was in Baca County?
It was, what did Tim say? It was a 3.8, and I guarantee you Brad was getting his fuck on.
Oh, was there thunder and lightning happening also at the same time? Because that's the only way, because the thunder call had
lightning
to be followed up.
And the thunder. Yeah. Brad had a need to feel the thunder, see the lightning in her eyes.
I tell you, so Brad is
if you were a Garth Brooks fan, you would have got that. He had a need to feel the thunder. See the lightning in her eyes. No, that summer. It's about an old or a young guy getting it on with a MILF during wheat harvest or something. It's a classic.
During wheat harvest.
I believe
the
working title of it was "Fucking in a Wheat Field," but of course, that wouldn't. It was the '90s. That shit wouldn't fly. It was like the 2 Live Crew days, and so they had to change it to just simply that summer.
What a terrible title! It should have been called "Banging in the Breadbasket."
Should have been. It should have been, but you know what? People were just not that receptive. People were prudes.
Don't be a prude.
And you know what? That's probably the most disappointing part of it all. I mean, there was magic with that title, and people just wouldn't have it. Would not have it.
Oh, what about creating yeast in the bread basket? Would that be a good title?
Nobody wants yeast in the bread basket.
Baking a loaf of sourdough in the bread basket.
That shit spreads. It's almost as contagious as the COVID, which we all know. I'll have to preface again. Please do not call me a hero. I'm simply a survivor. I was on death's doorstep. 100.1 degree fever, like that's 98% dead. 98% dead. And then, but I survived. Even though
Matt went to the worm pill that tastes like road apples, not actual apples. That was a mistake. Mm-hmm.
Well, was it though? Because we know for a scientific fact that COVID is 78% more debilitating than polio, but yet here I am jumping like a whore in church. I don't want to say I'm a superhuman, but I might be a superhuman at this point.
Would you say that if FDR got COVID, we would not have won the war instead of polio?
Guaranteed. We would all be speaking German, and Rob, bless his soul, would not exist. So God bless you, FDR, you and your socialist fantasies.
That was good, Matt. That was fucking good.
It's the side effects of surviving COVID is you become more witty and enjoyable. So hopefully my podcast really takes off now.
Well, since we're on that subject, it still amazes me that the group in Washington, the royal we, think, they've been telling people what to do this whole time, which is against every fabric of what being American is. And they think the best idea is to double down.
Well, yes, but I don't know if you heard that COVID is 95,000 times more infectious than dengue fever. So it's a bad problem that we have to deal with. And if you're miraculously somehow survive like I did, that's like a 1 in 3 trillion chance that you survive without the vaccine. It's a real problem. I'm so lucky that I'm going to change my screen name here. I feel like I have to now.
Well,
because I'm a survivor.
Well, now that since you got over it, that explains why you never had a venereal disease longer than 2 weeks when you're in college. You literally just kill it off.
Superhuman genes, which like, once again, scientific fact, COVID is 98 more times as infectious as chlamydia. Boy, man, I dodged a fucking bullet here. I mean, I really dodged a bullet. Oof.
Well, speaking of, I think I sent you over an article, and it basically, I can't remember what the article was, who wrote it or whatever.
Let me pull it up.
Not the one about my theory. We'll talk about my theory later, because this article really drives home my point. It's fucking brilliant, because it's Byron York, which, if you guys like to read articles with good insight and a willingness to bash on both sides, Byron York does.
But I just like to scream at people on Twitter. Like, that seems to be the new norm.
Apparently.
I don't have a Byron York article. So
okay. Byron York was the one about my theory. The one I want to talk about is from The Atlantic.
Okay, I got that one.
Columnist David Zweig. That's kind of a cool name.
Also would not exist if it hadn't been for FDR.
So the title states...
Is that racist?
I mean, that's kind of historically possibly true.
It's fact, but that history is racist. I don't know if you're aware of that. History is now racist.
The Germans seem to forget about it.
Well, they are known for organization and like mechanical precision
and meticulous records.
Yeah, memory not so much. So if you want a good sausage, German's the way to go.
Oh,
good lager. Remembering evil shit that happened on their watch, not so much.
The article by The Atlantic.
We can't be perfect, Aaron.
By David Zweig. Fucking guy. Is titled, "Our Most Reliable Pandemic Number is Losing Meaning."
Mm-hmm.
And I won't read through all this because I really want to read some of the other article, but it's basically stating, and I think Matt has brought this up on numerous occasions, but it basically, doctors or a group of scientists or doctors or somebody looked through the data of hospitalizations for COVID.
Harvard Medical School is who performed this one. It has not been peer reviewed, unlike COVID, which is 72,000 times greater death numbers than malaria.
God, we're going to get popped for misinformation. I'm trying to get this information out here.
This has been peer reviewed by 98% of all scientists that have ever lived.
Da Vinci was in there, huh?
Get your facts straight.
Oh my God, Matt, you are right. So in August, it's you fucking guy. In August, researchers from Harvard Medical School, Tufts Medical Center, and the Veteran Affairs Healthcare System decided to find out. They basically are kind of looking at the data for hospitalizations. And what they found, according to researchers, 40 to 45% of the hospitalizations that they examined were for patients. Oh, hold on. Let me read this. Researchers have tried to get a similar questions before. For two separate studies published in May, doctors in California read through several hundred charts of pediatric patients. So what they're doing is they're doing a review to really see what's going on with hospitalizations and COVID. So 100 charts of pediatric patients, one by one, to figure out why exactly each COVID positive child had been admitted to the hospital. Did they need treatment for COVID, or was there some reason for admission like cancer treatment or a psychiatric episode, and the COVID diagnosis was merely incidental? According to
The
the
answer is
research,
always yes. They always need treatment for COVID. And we all know the only effective treatment known to mankind is the vaccine.
Worm pills.
No, that was completely ineffective. I shit my own dick because of that. I shit my own dick.
According
Please
to the
continue.
researchers, 40 to 45% of the hospitalizations that they examined were for patients in the latter group. And just to refresh that paragraph, the latter group is the COVID diagnosis was merely incidental. So basically what they found was a good chunk of the data of COVID. People, when they treat COVID patients as, I guess, even if you go in there for, say, something else and you got COVID, they treat that as a COVID hospitalization. So they found that 40 to 45% of that were people going in for something else and they got tested positive for COVID.
Well,
so this is a
you
good
can
article.
never be too safe. You can never be too safe. Better safe than sorry. I believe that was Buddha himself, who died from COVID, by the way. Buddha died from COVID. He was very obese and had diabetes, and he also treated with ivermectin, the horse variety. Have you ever shit your own dick? It is not pleasant.
You should. So coming from a guy.
Luckily, I could not smell it.
Coming from a guy who, yes, this problem's bad. I'll recognize that. I got the vaccine, all that other shit. Coming from a guy who's kind of followed, because he lives in a big city, kind of followed the regulation mandates, not because the government told me, but because my wife told me. Having that, I am not shocked. If you have fallacies like this in reporting, and people like you, people question you, you don't believe everything that's coming out from the government right now, Matt?
Well, let me tell you.
It's not like they're incompetent or lying some days.
Well, let me tell you what absolutely 100% did not happen. They did not label somebody who died in a car wreck, like got hit by a fucking bus, as a bus accident, because you know what? COVID takes precedence because it is, statistically speaking, 438,000 times more deadly than a bus crash. And we all know this. We all fucking know this. I shit my own dick, all right? That's how bad it was.
Okay, Matt, how do you shit your own dick?
You tell me. It hurt. It really hurt.
It happened.
Luckily, like I said, I couldn't taste it.
Is your dick still calloused?
That's classified.
Or is it smooth now because it was violently threw up?
I had to sign an NDA, and we know those things are 100% legally binding. So, wait. I can't say. You
said you threw up your own dick. Now, does that mean your dick?
No, I said I shit my own dick. I shit my own dick, but I could not taste it.
So, shitting your own dick, is your dick like spewing stuff out of it, or is your dick coming out of your butthole?
Both.
God damn.
It's humor has helped me recover. I don't like to make light of this situation because COVID-19 is 74 million times as bad as Ebola. But humor helps me get through the rough times. So that's why I laughed. I apologize to Buddha, who died from COVID.
Also on that topic, fucking since Matt wants to talk about shit and dicks on fence post politics, you fucking simpleton. I also said
it was not that simple. Do you know the process it takes to shit your own dick?
I tried to ask
not it is.
I'm asking what it is, but I'm more confused the more you provide answers.
Well, I'm trying not to get in trouble legally, but it's not a simple process. It is very complicated, like COVID.
So
that's all I can say on the matter.
Since your butt and dick went through such traumatic events, did all that your pubes turn white because it just was so traumatizing?
They are white, but I don't know if color blindness is a side effect. They haven't decided if that's a for sure side effect. The smell and taste loss, which thank God, nobody wants to taste that. So like that happened. The white pubes has not been peer reviewed yet. So
you tasted some of it. Was your head near your butthole?
Like I said, it's a complicated process, but luckily my sense of taste was gone. So I mean, good as new. Like I said, don't call me a hero, superhuman. That's up in the air. I just don't like to take credit.
Patriot?
Possibly. But like moment of silence for Buddha, who died from COVID. He was obese.
So fucking A.
Diabetes is a real motherfucker.
Also on the topic, Matt knows that I have a theory that if Donald Trump were in office, basically you would see the reverse. You would have liberals saying they don't trust the vaccine, and you'd have conservatives who follow Donald Trump taking the vaccine, and then you'll have people like Matt who doesn't trust the government, whoever the fuck's in office. You have people like me that kind of listen more to the wife, and she says to take something, I take it. But guaranteed roles would be reversed. I fucking believe that to my core. And so I found an article, and yes, I know it's the Federalist, so it is right, but there are quotes and actual polls in this article. Articles by Gabe Kaminsky, and the title is Left Mocks Right for Expressing Same Vaccine Concerns They Did Before Biden Took Office. So it goes through basically quotations from Nancy and Harris.
Oh, Nance. Do you know it's illegal to threaten to kill Kamala Harris?
Hold on, Matt. Let me get through this.
Okay. All right.
God damn. So basically,
it's the side effect of shitting your own dick. You jump around a bunch.
Get him some Ritalin. Can we
please continue?
Can we get somebody with Ritalin on? So
basically, that has not been proven to treat COVID-19. Just like horse dewormer hasn't either. I would not recommend it ever, even if there's a fire in your dick.
I'll tell you a couple of the comments during the October debate. Then Vice President Mike Pence asked Harris, with Mike Pence and Harris said, if Donald Trump tells us that we should take it, I'm not going to take it, referring to the vaccine. Pence replied, your continuous undermining of confidence in the vaccine is just unacceptable. You've got Biden in fall 2020. I trust vaccines, I trust scientists, but I don't trust Trump. And at this moment, the American people can't either. I think there was a Pelosi quote. Unless there is this is Nancy Pelosi in September 2020. Unless there is a confidence that the vaccine has gone through clinical trials and then is approved by the Independent Scientific Advisory Committee as established to do just this, there will be no doubts that people will have. So all these people don't trust Trump. Then they did polling. They did polling before the new election and after. What do you think those polls said when it comes to vaccine trustworthiness, Matt? What do you think when it comes to Republicans and Democrats?
Surely they didn't flip-flop. Surely not.
Well, not to go through the tons and tons of statistics, but the polling said basically Republicans were confident in it, Democrats were not. Mm-hmm. And then Biden goes into office and total flip-flop. It is so fucking embarrassing that our country is in such a tribalistic fucking mood that what trustworthy for the majority of Americans, I'm not in this category, Matt's not in this category because we fucking think for ourselves. But depending on who's in office, depends on the choices you make when it comes to like health. Mm-hmm. How the fuck did we get here, Matt? How did we get here, Matt?
Well, COVID's a hell of a disease. I mean, 322,000 times more deadly than yellow fever. Look it up. Look it up.
Does it burn more than the clap?
Oh, yeah, infinitely more. Like, it is like the exploding of Mount St. Helens right in your dick hole. I don't know how it is for women or trans women or they. I'm not sure what the correct terminology, what the right pronoun is there, but it's got to be worse, because everything that happens to somebody of that category is infinitely worse. So if it burns infinitely more than the clap, imagine what it's like for a trans woman or a trans man. I don't know. I mean, I can't even imagine.
I'm starting to think that maybe you didn't have COVID, but maybe you have gonorrhea with a touch of explosive diarrhea.
That's a side effect of COVID. We all know this. We all know this.
Wait, so if you get COVID, you automatically get gonorrhea?
Unfortunately. I mean, it's a tragic disease. You don't know how lucky I am. Like, I'm so goddamn lucky.
I'm so happy about this podcast because I tell people about Uncle Cowboy Matt all the time. Mm-hmm. But you really can't grasp what it is to be around Uncle Cowboy Matt unless you just talk with him for 2 hours. Mm-hmm. This is the man we all fell in love with. Fucking right there.
What? Please add COVID survivor to the end of that title. Wait. It's not for me. It is out of tribute to Buddha, who died from COVID.
Excuse me. I got COVID first, so suck it, Matt. And I had 103 temperature.
I did not. Yeah, I did not know that you were also a survivor. Welcome to the club.
I got COVID the fuck up. It knocked me out for a good long time. So eat a dick, Matt.
All you guys all you 0 people listening right now don't realize how lucky you are to be in the presence of alleged superhumans. Allegedly. That's not been peer reviewed yet. So
I heard he fucked an ostrich. Allegedly.
I mean, that's just for funsies, though.
Funsies.
Oh, by the way, apparently swollen balls is not a side effect of the vaccine. 100% confirmed that is not a side effect. Like it might be 150% confirmed. I'm a little sketchy on the statistics there. But I did call this episode the Swollen Ball Serenade. and to pay tribute to Nicki Minaj's cousin's friend, we're gonna have me and you and Tim's faces on the South Park characters as they're doing the hoppity hop with their swollen balls.
You know what? That was the first picture. That was immediately the first picture I saw. As soon as I saw the tweet. You should make Tim's
Buffalo Soldier.
You should make Tim's cojones actual size, like pud size. Can you like minimize them?
It's like when they
like little BBs.
when they show Cartman's dick and it's just like they have to put multiple magnifying glasses.
He uses the adjusted calculations.
Right. The yaw.
The yaw.
The yaw.
You know what, Tim? Maybe if you answered our texts a little bit more frequently, we wouldn't talk so much shit. You old
I
D-bag.
do enjoy immensely the fact that like once every 4 hours or so when we go on a tear, Tim will just be like, shut the fuck up. I do love that.
A little backstory for the listeners who will probably listen during the recording. So we get on like three-way text messages, basically me and Matt yakking back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
And then when Tim doesn't respond in a timely manner, because we're the most important thing,
Tim's boss must be some sort of slave driver. And I say that with all due respect to, like I don't mean that lightly. Like Tim's boss must be a literal slave driver because I work pretty hard. I don't know what Aaron does. I still don't know what Aaron does, but I work pretty hard. I work pretty hard and I'm still able to carry on a conversation with text and get my job done. But Tim doesn't answer for like days on end. And when he finally does, there's like 900 text messages that he has to respond to. And so he just usually responds with fuck. And
so basically we're hammering on him.
He probably gets whipped afterwards.
And then it turns into me and Matt making puns. Basically, like his pud. What was this last? Oh, we were doing movie quotes or movie
war
titles.
movies. Yes, war movies. All quiet on Tim's pud.
Yeah,
all quiet on the Western pud.
Yep. White pud down.
Thin pink pud.
The Pud Panther.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But we were also. It started with actually, Tim started the conversation with the earthquake in Vaca County,
and of course,
I said,
Matt assumed correctly. What did you assume? Matt caused the earthquake.
Brad was getting his fuck on, and I said if Brad getting his fuck on was a war movie, it'd be a Cockalypse Now.
Yes.
Yeah. The opposite of what Tim would be, which would be a Pudalypse later.
I know I've said this before, but I gotta say it again. You haven't lived until you go to a strip club with Brad, handsome Brad, and the stripper lays him down on the fucking table, and you're watching, enjoying, like, oh, the stripper's good. You're looking at her tits and you look at her butt. And then you look over at Brad like he's having a great time, and then you kind of peer over, and there's this just giant hog pointed right directly at your face.
I mean, it's just like serious girth. Serious girth. I mean, like water bottle size. This is like a small Brad.
like frightening, folks. You haven't lived.
And Brad's not a big dude. I mean, well, part of him is big. The rest, not so much. God bless him.
He's like fucking
Brad.
He's like mini me.
Fucking Kristen, you're a lucky woman.
Now that's a hero.
Yeah, I mean, is it luck? It's hard to tell you. It's really hard to say. Pun intended.
No. Pud intended.
Pud intended. Tim's got a little dick. It's a COVID aftermath. It's a side effect.
Oh, I hope that fucking bastard's listening.
So should we go into the Nicki Minaj story?
No, please. That story is just the gift that keeps on giving.
Oh, it's so good. I barely know what a Nicki Minaj is. But before we go into that, I want to say R.I.P. Norm Macdonald. This is a big reason why I've been so ridiculous this first half of the show, because this is what Norm Macdonald would want.
Yes, he would. He would want an obscene fucking show. That's what he would want.
Norm Macdonald had maybe the biggest set of cojones that any comedian ever had. And that's, I mean, like, that's not taking anything from, George Carlin or Richard Pryor or Lenny Bruce or any of the greats. But Norm Macdonald, a Canadian, took it right to Bill Clinton during the White House press.
Oh my fuck, yes, he did.
The press correspondence dinner or whatever, while Bill Clinton was the leader of the free world, and just let him have it. He made fun of a woman general.
My favorite part about that video is watching Bill Clinton fucking crack up. And on the other side of the podium is Hillary just daggers.
Oh, like, I don't know how Norm made it this long, honestly. Like, it wouldn't have been a surprise to anyone if he would have suicided himself the next day.
Yeah.
Or later that evening, honestly.
Fucking daggers.
But
fucking
that's,
daggers.
Like, even Hill Dog had to hand it to him, and it was like, you got some nuts there, Norm.
I picture his crotch area like having a Brad size hog along with a Randy Marsh size microwave balls. Like, he had that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Fucking legend, dude. I'm so bummed by that. Like, there's not many celebrity deaths that get me, but that's one of them.
Norm, did you see Norm Macdonald? Did you send this tweet from Norm Macdonald? It says, on September 13th, I have information that will lead to the rest of Kamala Harris.
Yeah. Yeah. I wish that was a true tweet. I really do, but it's so good. It's so good. All right. So here is
there
the
was
Nicki
one
Minaj
quote.
Oh, go ahead.
There was one quote, and it comes from Tim, so I don't know. I don't know if it's true, but apparently during that roast, he said Clinton fucking killed a guy. Like, he said that the president of the United States.
Oh no, he didn't. He didn't say it then. He said it on The View.
Oh, did he really?
Back when Barbara Walters was on The View.
Yeah.
And like Barbara Walters was like, moving on. We're changing subjects now.
You dumbasses! What did you fucking expect him coming on? What did you?
Right.
It's like when they had Bill Burr be a announcer for what was an award ceremony, and they were
something like that, or Ricky Gervais when he hosted the Golden Globes. Like, what? Yeah, what did you expect?
He should host every single award show from here to eternity. Ricky Gervais too. I fucking love Ricky Gervais.
Bill Burr, Ricky Gervais, and then they go ahead and make a hologram of Norm Macdonald to make a cameo, right? And I could die a happy man, which I don't know if I'm able to die since I survived COVID. I think I'm immortal now.
Well, the only thing that can die now is your soul.
That was dead long time ago.
As soon as I stepped out of 511 North Shields, it died.
We got a tweet from Queen Nicki Minaj, who is now, I think she was muted on Twitter or something. She got in trouble on Twitter, but she says, my cousin in Trinidad won't get the vaccine because his friend got it and became impotent. His testicles became swollen. His friend was weeks away from getting married, and now the girl called off the wedding. So just pray on it and make sure you're comfortable with your decision, not bullied. And King Crystal, I don't know who that is, but he or she or they got a check mark, so they're verified. Said your cousin's friend probably picked up an STD, but please keep going, which I support that statement 100%.
100%.
I want to know what is going on there. Because I mean, if your balls get bigger and you become impotent, if you get the vaccine, I'm getting the vaccine tomorrow. Like, I'm just gonna fuck with my giant balls and never get anybody pregnant. That's what's gonna happen.
So let me get this straight.
I don't see the downside.
Twitter bans some celebrity with a big mic, but all the hate
and whose cousin has a friend with big balls too, apparently.
But hate being spewed from
he's got big balls.
Organizations.
He's got big balls.
Oh, yeah, that's all right.
Yeah.
But we've got the biggest balls of them all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's also a side effect of shitting your own dick because of COVID. Or maybe it was the ivermectin that made me shit my own dick. I'm not sure. Did you shit your dick?
I'm telling you, I did not. I think it's the apple butter fucking dewormer pills.
It's the horse dewormer.
Yeah.
The horse dewormer, scientifically proven by a superhuman as myself, will make you shit your own dick. It's painful. Don't do it. But your balls do grow.
So with all that said, like, is your anus just weak and you have to double your weekly Kegel exercises?
The anal Kegels are a problem, let me tell you.
Yeah.
that old don't trust a fart deal.
Yeah.
Never been more true in my life.
You've got the grip of Betty White now.
Oh, Betty White's even more superhuman than myself.
True.
Is she still alive?
She's still alive.
Did she die? She didn't die with Buddha. Okay, good. Thank Buddha.
What?
Buddha sacrificed for us all.
What?
He was obese, had the diabetes, man.
What's up with the Buddha? Like, did you read a book today on Buddha?
No, I'm unable to. It's a side effect of COVID.
You're such a fucking idiot. Oh, jackass.
I don't know why we're laughing. Humor makes us get through the hard times.
The hard times. So continue. So what else happened with Nicki Minaj? You should pull up that other tweet I gave you.
Oh, okay. Let me send it.
I don't trust, I'm sure Nicki Minaj is a very nice lady. I don't think she is.
I honestly don't know much about her.
I mean, she doesn't seem like a Harvard grad, we'll say. But this next tweet, her point was so fucking on, even though it was so weirdly put, and I love it, but it was so on. The marbles.
So she got a pat on the back from according to this tweet, a known white supremacist, or not, did they say white supremacist or white nationalist? That's what they said. A known white nationalist in Tucker Carlson. How that's known, I'm not sure, but apparently it's known, and so you should know now that that he's a white nationalist. So anyway, he did a segment on it, and I didn't watch the segment, but he was apparently standing up for her because, honestly, even though like, swollen balls is no joking matter, and unless it's funny, and then joke away. But
unless it's somebody else besides yourself,
right?
Yes.
Or if it's not somebody else, like if you had little balls like Tim, and then all of a sudden they grow to superhuman size, then go ahead, make fun of everybody else with little balls, because you've earned it at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Take some horse dewormer, Tim. You'll shit your dick, but your balls might grow.
Don't take the horse apple or road apples. Take the apple flavor, not the road apple flavor.
Granny Smith, not alfalfa.
That's right.
Okay, so anyway, Nicki Minaj retweeted this segment from Tucker Carlson, which she shouldn't do because he's a white nationalist. Everybody knows that now. And so she retweeted it and just had like a bullseye saying that he nailed it. And so I don't know what he said. But anyways, this other guy, his name is Hassanabi. Hassanabi. Hassan the Hun is at Hassan the Hun on Twitter. He's verified as well, so he's very famous. So famous that I've never heard of him.
Verified shit you keep on saying?
They got the blue check mark next to their name on Twitter.
What does that mean?
That means like once you hit a certain level of followers, like they will verify that it's actually you. So like you don't have a bunch of parody accounts or people like trying to impersonate you.
So it's basically it's big swing and dick account.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like their balls are bigger than Nicki Minaj's cousin's friend. Yes.
By at least one.
And they didn't even have to get the vaccine for that. So at Hassan the Hun says, he's a white nationalist, right? Because everybody knows that Tucker Carlson is a white nationalist. We don't even have to provide proof. Everybody just knows.
Just knows, it's common knowledge.
Yeah, don't worry about the proof. We just fucking know. Okay, we cleared that up. And so Nicki Minaj responds to that and says, right, I can't speak to, agree with, even look at somebody from a particular party. People aren't human anymore. If you're black and a Democrat tells you to shove marbles up your ass, you simply have to. If another party tells you to look out for that bus, stand there and get hit. Well, God damn it, Nikki, everybody knows that. When a Democrat tells you to shove marbles up your ass, you say, how high? That's, once again, that is common knowledge. Don't worry about the repercussions. You might shit your own dick, but you just say how high.
Fucking Matt. God damn it.
I mean, rest in peace, Buddha. And Norm Macdonald.
And Norm. Oh,
God damn
Norm.
it. That Norm bums me out. God, that guy was funny.
Was
so
the
funny.
His greatest joke was not one particular. His greatest joke was that he ripped on OJ
relentlessly.
Rightfully so. But every time I saw him, he had a fucking OJ joke. And it wasn't even joking about the murder. It was joking how he could not believe this fucking guy got away with it.
Yeah, like he's like, and a new book from the Pope, God himself told me OJ is guilty.
just like ease it on in there. You
I
think
know.
It's something? Ooh,
the
OJ.
Best part is like Norm Macdonald would purposely bomb. Like he would like own jokes, knowing that people watching at home would be dying laughing, but his audience there, no, they did not appreciate it. But he didn't care. He just kept going, and he just kept digging deeper and deeper and deeper. And that, like, the size of the balls on that guy, like, puts Nicki Minaj's cousin's friends to shame. To shame.
Brad Hogg included.
Yeah, I mean, and that thing is impressive. I mean, oof.
I've stared into the darkness.
We used to call it the Statue of Liberty. It was also green. It was that part was weird, but it was glorious to behold.
He painted his dick green at the first CSU football game and just never turned back.
The head was naturally golden. That was the weird part. I mean, just bizarre.
Like the hammer of Thor.
Freak of nature. And I don't even know if you can call him a freak of nature, because that doesn't occur in nature. But yeah, so now Nicki Minaj, I don't know. honestly, I don't care enough to really delve into it, whether she actually got suspended or banned or muted or what the fuck. I think she got muted is the last I heard, which means she can still tweet, but nobody can retweet it or comment. Which it seems like a really petty way to go about things.
That's like the version of you can't come to my birthday party.
Yeah. It's like taking the basketball and just stabbing it and deflating it and then just leaving. Like you still have a basketball, but you can't do anything with it.
That's like an uncle teaching a nephew to pee inside the house when he's really young.
It's like giving somebody a Kobe beef ribeye, but you have to cook it for them, and then you just burn the fuck out of it. And so it's just like a mangled, charred piece of shitty ribeye by the time you're done. And it's like a $300 steak, but is inedible by the time you're done. That's basically what getting a mute on Twitter is, I think.
It's like the Colorado Rockies of petty revenge.
Well, and I'm somewhat of an authority on Twitter. I've got, I think, 4 followers.
I thought you were going to say I'm somewhat authority on petty revenge, and it was like, oh, me too.
Oh, I can do some petty revenge pretty well, but I'm also a Twitter authority. Like I said, 4 followers. Ooh. It's almost as big of a deal as beating COVID. Almost. I should have videoed me shitting my own dick. I'd probably have a lot more followers if I did that.
You would. You know what? I really gotta get started doing the monthly, pick like girls on Instagram, how they do the pouty looks and the butt looks. I really gotta start. Maybe I'll do a monthly thing and we'll just do a calendar.
I'm down.
I think that would be lovely.
I found a really cool story here the other day.
Is it from Smoking Gun?
No, it's from the U.S. Sun.
Oh, yeah.
A very reputable source, I think. I don't know. Honestly, I don't. But it was originally, I found it on the Drudge Report. And it was one of the only happy stories on Drudge because
Drudge is like a fucking obituary.
Oh, man. It is nothing but scary shit on Drudge. So anyway, Frankenstein robbery. Scorned wife raids ex-husband's cryogenic lab, stealing frozen brains of people who hope to be brought back to life. It's a little wordy on the headline. I will admit that. But this is from Will Stewart, September 10th. So it's a little bit of it's updated on the 13th though. So we're what is today, the 16th?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so all right. So it's not super old, but it's about a week old. A scorned wife raided her ex-husband's cryogenic lab and stole the frozen brains of people who hope to be brought back to life. Valeria Udalova, 59. Looks pretty good for 59, I will say.
She looks real good for 59.
I mean, the eyes leave something to be desired, but there's no wrinkles. That's good Russian genetics.
She looks like she has a touch of crazy, though.
Oh, guaranteed. Like, if she was alive back in like the Peaky Blinders, do you watch Peaky Blinders?
I saw the first 2 seasons. Just didn't get through it.
Okay. Did you get to the part where they go to the Russian party with all the Russian whores? She looks like she might be one of those Russian call girls that would just you'd be dry by the time you're done. Like she's got that kind of look.
She looks like she should be dating Doc Holliday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Valeria Udalova, 59, and staff from her company grabbed the remains of people who paid thousands of pounds hoping they could be resurrected. Danila Medvedev. That he's got a nice Irish look to him, but that is definitely a Russian last name. Some of the corpses were from Britain and the U.S. and were stored in Valeria's ex-husband Danila Medvedev, 41. So he was apparently she's a cradle robber too. She was 59.
He was banging the milk.
Yeah, good for you,
Yeah.
Danila.
Wait, so he's just like storing this shit?
Well, yeah, that's how cryogenics work. They haven't figured out how to reanimate him yet.
I know, but he's got a U-Haul for this, huh? He's a U-Haul locker service. That's fun.
Well, it didn't say a U-Haul. It just said they were stored in a lab in the Moscow region of Russia.
Oh, okay. I thought he was like keeping this shit in his house because it's fucking obviously his wife has access to it.
Well, they were married and then they got divorced, I guess. The lab is Russia's leading cryo storage facility. So, I mean, top notch, comrade, top notch.
So basically a King Soopers freezer.
Yeah. But it's like King potatoes. King potatoes, you know, like there. I don't know if there's a King Soopers over there, but like King potatoes. Yeah.
That one's in Dublin, bud.
Well, how do they get all the vodka in Russia if not from potatoes?
It flows like wine.
There you go.
Yeah.
They drained liquid nitrogen from the giant Dewar flask containing frozen bodies and grabbed these and some detached human brains, then loaded them onto trucks. Police were called and intercepted the macabre cargo of human remains preserved by Frankenstein technology, offering humans the chance to come back to life in the future. But Medvedev told RRTVI, I don't know what that is, but the police did not catch Valeria. She left, taking someone's brain from the cryo storage. The brains of our neuro patients were kept separately in special metal medical boxes. Both Medvedev, who runs Cryo Rus, and its ex-boss Udalova, who started a new company called Open Cryonics in the Tver region, very nice in the summer, I hear, claim to be legitimate owners of the human remains. Classic lovers quarrel.
Last week we had the most Florida story ever. This might be the most Russian story ever.
I think so. There are fears the remains may have been damaged in the raid. Valeria did not do it well. She just cheated, alleged Medvedev, who started a new family with another woman. There was a risk of damage. It is impossible to transport Dewars in the horizontal position. Well, she fucked up there, Valeria. Everybody knows that. You don't do it in the horizontal position. Sci-fi nightmare. While attempting to steal our Dewars, this nitrogen was spilled. Most of the nitrogen was poured onto the ground, added Oleksiy Potapov, an expert with Cryo Rus. The human remains began to heat up. That's terrible. You can't have that. You can't have that.
The smell.
It's a good thing I survived COVID because I wouldn't be able to smell that. Udalova claims she was unfairly ousted from her old company and is the rightful owner of its assets. You got to go to arbitration. You can't just steal the assets, Udalova. Come on, Valeria.
Can you imagine
this is? Russia? Jesus.
Can you imagine what a Russian civil court dispute looks like?
Oh, I bet it's entertaining as shit.
Do you think they wear wigs like the English?
We can only hope, but like shitty Russian wigs.
No, they don't have wigs. They have those.
They're like matted.
They have those giant. What are those? What are those giant winter hats with fur?
Yeah. Except they're like caked with shit,
and they're made out of rat fur.
Yeah. Let's see. Udalova claims she was unfairly ousted from her old company and is the rightful owner of the assets. There are a lot of orders from different countries, especially from dog and cat owners, she said. This is the reason why the cost of full body cryopreservation is around 26,000 pounds, or to save the brain, only the brain, is 11,000. That's a huge discount.
You get a huge discount. They must be
Yeah.
teaming up with Walmart.
Yeah.
Get that discount.
Some 82 patients were in the company's warehouse, including 25 foreigners. Among the brains frozen in the Moscow store is Dr. Yuri Pachugan,
Ooh, that's a loss.
who died in 2018 after inventing the chemical cocktail, which preserves people for posterity in a deep freeze at minus 196. So the guy that invented this shit was preserved there.
Not anymore.
A brain woken in the decades or centuries to come could be implanted in another human body, it is claimed. Well, like I said, you got to go to arbitration for that shit. Come on.
Well, he officially gets the worst day ever award.
You just don't. You don't just go steal another man's frozen brain. Fuck. Not even in Russia is that acceptable. Come on.
Who does that? You're better than that, Russia.
Come on, Valeria.
Come on, Valeria.
Get your shit together. I know you're on your later days of life, but come on,
Valeria.
Like,
we're not
make
mad.
up.
We're just
make nice and freeze your own brain. You know, it'll all work out in the future.
So she took out the guy who made it possible. How dare she?
It didn't have to come to this. It didn't have to come to this.
Where the fuck do you find these articles? Do you just Google
Drudge
like
Report.
weird? I know, but so you were just scanning Drudge Report and saw this. I feel like you find weird shit. Do you Google just a weird fucking article?
I do that from time to time, but the search results are not that great, honestly. Like, I don't know where Matt Drudge comes up with this shit, but like there's a reason he's the king. He's kind of an asshole, but I mean, sometimes you come up with gold like that. That's fucking gold.
It's so fucking good.
So I got another one here from the Daily Dot, daily.com.
How'd you find this one?
Drudge Report. And I have no idea how good of a source the daily.com is. But I have no reason to suspect that they're up to anything shady. I mean, with a name like the daily.com, fuck, anything's possible.
They are legit if they do that.
All right. So right-wing sting artist James O'Keefe says hackers scammed his Project Veritas out of $165,000. Are you familiar with James O'Keefe and Project Veritas?
Vaguely. I know who he is. I've seen a couple of their videos. Yeah. Pretty much.
All right. So they come up with some pretty important shit from time to time. Like they're the ones that but the way they go about it is shady as fuck. So I don't necessarily support them because like it's all hidden camera, gotcha moment stuff. But the stuff that they put out is pretty incredible. But I would have to imagine like the shit that doesn't make the main page is just sketchy as fuck.
Right.
So they're the ones that caught that chick from MSNBC saying that like they had the Epstein story back in like 2015 and they wouldn't run it because they wanted access to the royal family, which
talk about selling your soul.
Right. Those people are pieces of shit. So like he does some good work, but like I said, the way he goes about it, like they got somebody on who thought he was on a Tinder date to admit that they rigged the election or they rigged the news coverage. So it's like nothing. They just printed or they put nothing on CNN except COVID death numbers. So to drive down Trump's favorability rating and whatnot.
It's just a sneaky way of fucking going about it.
Yeah, it's shady as fuck. So the hack appears to be what is known as a business email compromise attack. Project Veritas announced Monday that it was defrauded out of $165,000 after being targeted by hackers. James O'Keefe, the group's founder, said that scammers posing as the group's attorney were able to convince his team to transfer funds out of their bank account. So we received an invoice for $165,000 from a few of our attorneys, and we intended to pay that invoice, so we set up wire transfers for the payment, O'Keefe says. Within an hour, the lawyers reached out to us asking us to pay the invoice via a new account they had set up.
So they actually talked to him on the fucking phone?
No, it was by email. Like, why would you transfer that amount of money over email correspondence? Why would you do that? O'Keefe further claims that the hackers appeared to be monitoring his correspondence with his actual attorneys before interjecting with a similar looking email account. So instead of lawyer@lawyer.com, it was lawyer1 at fakelawyer.com or something like that.
Fake lawyer at .com.
Right, the daily.com. They actually impersonated the actual name of our lawyer, changing a few letters in the email address, replying in real time to an email chain with our actual attorneys. O'Keefe added, it appears the fraudsters were watching, waiting for an invoice to be sent to us, and then pounced, impersonating them, replying to a real email as the lawyer's name the moment the invoice came. The hack appears to be what is known as a business email compromise or email account compromise attack. The FBI describes such attack as sophisticated scams targeting both businesses and individuals performing transfer of funds. The scam is frequently carried out when a subject compromises legitimate business email accounts through social engineering or computer intrusion techniques, blah, 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 blah. But that wasn't the only attack Project Veritas claims to have been targeted by. O'Keefe goes on to state that his organization has also been hit with a denial of service attack. Specifically, O'Keefe says attackers made numerous $50,000 donations to the company and then requested a refund, which would force Project Veritas to pay processing fees. The attacks came just days after Project Veritas's New York headquarters was flooded by Hurricane Ida.
Wait, how much could the fucking processing fees actually cost?
Well, if it's $50,000, it's usually what, like 3.5%. So that'd be $350 on $1,000. No, it'd be $35 on $1,000. That's still not that much.
They just had to put that little. We've been attacked before.
That's like $1,500 on a $50,000 donation.
You know what fucking happened? It wasn't that type of attack. You know what they lost $1,500 to? A young prince, an Ethiopian prince, asked them for funds to help out, and then they'd be millionaires. That's what
it was probably Nicki Minaj's cousin's friend who said he had the miracle drug to make your balls grow bigger.
He literally sent out an email saying, "Can you help, please? My balls are huge."
We solved the case. This is why Nicki Minaj got muted on Twitter. You know what? I think she probably deserved it. This might be the dumbest episode we've ever done.
Oh, by far.
In no way is that depressing. In no way is that depressing.
Speaking of dumb and speaking of Nicki Minaj, I thought it was so fucking stupid that the White House, the most sacred office in all the land, the prestige, they called up Nicki Minaj to say, "Hey, can we chat about it? Do you want to come to the White House and we'll talk about improper vaccine information?" Like, how fucking petty is that?
Right. Well, propaganda never sleeps, Aaron. Propaganda never sleeps.
The
and you know what?
Never sleeps.
Joe Biden was like not real sure what a Nicki Minaj is, but he's like, holy fuck, she's got 22 million followers. Let's talk to her. Yeah.
Right. If we change her mind, we could change 65,000 like that.
Yeah. And he'd be like, 22 million. Holy shit. And $1968, that's a whole bunch.
That's a whole bunch. Come on, man.
Come on, Corn Pop. Cracker Jack. You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier. Come on, Jack. And they're like, yeah, all right, let's just take your medicine, Mr. President, and go to bed.
Come on, head honcho.
Yeah.
Come on.
Here, have some oatmeal. Here's your shawl.
Here's your shawl. Do the FDR.
All right. It's time for your Metamucil. All right. Let Kamala tuck you in. Come on, Mr. President.
Can we talk to the president? Oh no, he's in his quiet time with the Golden Girls videos that he likes to watch. Thank you for being a friend.
Betty White's like, Mr. President, please stop calling me.
Hey, come on.
She's like,
I'm the president of the United States.
I'm still cool. Come on, Jack. Oh, what a world we live in. What a world we live in.
Just humor, man. Just humor.
You know, the funniest thing is Trump decides, he said that it doesn't look like we have any choice. He's going to have to run for president again. And you know what? If it's all going to come crashing down, why not just let us have this one? Kamala, wait your turn. Let Joe have this second run at it. And we're just going to have an 82-year-old and a 78-year-old who are known to just say whatever the fuck is on their mind, whatever that is in Joe Biden's mind. And who knows what kind of mental capacity Donald Trump's going to be in.
Oh, fuck.
But they're both going to be on all the Adderall, all the cocaine. And it is going to be funny as shit.
Matt, you fucking idiot. Not even on this. So we're zooming right now and I'm looking at the screen and Matt's fucking name, his account name is up and it says, you fucking idiot. Matt McKinley, COVID survivor.
Hey, it is something to be proud of. It is something to be proud of.
You're so fucking stupid.
Hey, I didn't put COVID hero because I'm a humble man. I'm a humble man.
Oh, you fucking idiot. God damn it, Matt. Oh, this is, if you listen, this is exactly what it's like to know the Matt McKinley. This whole fucking episode went nowhere and we talked about dicks pretty much the whole fucking time.
And now you know why I'm so bummed that Norm Macdonald is dead. Like this is the episode Norm Macdonald would have wanted.
It really would. Yes, just bombing. But you know what? As long as me and you were laughing,
exactly. Like, we've had one person hopping on and off. I'm guessing because most of my audience lives out in the sticks, so like they have service for a minute and then it cuts out, or I have service for a minute and cuts out. Who knows?
Your internet is bad.
Yeah, well, you know, I got hope that Uncle Joe's gonna just revamp rural broadband. Still holding out hope.
Fucking guy.
What a time. Well, let's wrap the main episode there, and then we'll get into some sports and shit for the Patreon.
Yes, so, we'll make fun of. I have a feeling we're going to make fun of a future Hall of Famer in the next 20 minutes.
Probably yes. So.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, until then, don't take ivermectin. You'll shit your own dick.
Survivor,
the
Patriot.
vaccine might make you have huge superhuman balls. We don't know. That is unconfirmed.
It didn't happen to me. What the fuck?
Well, see, here's the thing though. That vaccine that they take down in Trinidad and Tobago. I don't know if it was Trinidad or Tobago. I'm not real confident on that aspect yet.
Why don't they just call it Tridago?
Or to dad? I don't know.
I like to dad.
To dad. It's not my country. That's not for me to say. I don't have any I got no input on that. I don't know. But they use the Chinese vaccine down there, so that might be it. It's not the Pfizer, it's not the Moderna, which are the gold standards. Johnson & Johnson's a little iffy from what I hear. This is the Chinese. So it's like, it's not Pfizer, it's like Pfizer. Or it's Pfizer, but not with a PA or a PZ. It's just like with an F.
Pfizer.
Yeah, it's instead of like it's like PFZ or PFIZER is how the actual one. This one's like FIZER.
They couldn't afford the P.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, it's the Chinese version. So it might be true. Nicki Minaj was probably unjustly muted if we're being 100% honest.
But she still has a check. She still has that check.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, she's fine. She's a rapper, right?
Yes.
I honestly I know her the name, but I don't know any of her work.
She's kind of like the 2020 version of Little Kim.
Oh, so she's got big old titties?
Yes.
Was that, and it's not from the vaccine because she hasn't taken it yet. Those are natural.
I don't think they're natural.
Okay, but they're not. It's not a vaccine side effect.
They're not COVID boobies. No, they're not COVID boobies.
Okay, those are natural silicone.
Yes.
Okay.
On the periodic table, it's natural.
Good for Nicki Minaj. Good for Nicki. Hey, she also told Meghan McCain to eat shit, which I'm a huge fan of. I'm a huge fan of anybody telling Meghan McCain to eat shit. So good on you, Nicki Minaj. Your vaccine rhetoric is very reckless, but telling Meghan McCain to eat shit, I mean, spot on, girlfriend.
Nicki Minaj has a new fan.
Oh man. I'm not a fan of her reckless COVID rhetoric, but the Meghan McCain rhetoric, I'm all in, all fucking in.
Oh fuck!
All right, move your ass. We're burning daylight.
Burning the shit out of it.